What do you think of him wanting 25% control of the company?
Caroline, thanks for having me today. This is such a interesting and, of course, complicated CEO. So when we were talking about anti-Semitism, there just isn't any room in corporate America or anywhere for those types of comments. And so that's where that was coming from. Of course, this CEO is very unique, both on the innovation, the ability to step outside the box and completely go against the status quo. And in lots of ways, that's really important. That's really, he's not tied to how we've done things in the past, and he wants to do things differently. Where we're cautious are some of these inflammatory statements. So he wants 25% ownership, and yet, he had almost that. He's had almost that in the past. I think he's down to about 13% now, having used some of that money to purchase X. And so what do we mean about incentives? I'd say we're also very much in agreement that we want the CEO to have incentives for the long term of the company. And yet money isn't an incentive to the world's richest man. So having those voting rights is going to be really interesting. He did make some comments in the earnings call yesterday about ISS and Glass Lewis. They do make recommendations about, and many of the institutional investors follow those recommendations as far as voting rights. And so we like to have some of these recommendations coming out so that we can rein in a CEO who may need that from time to time.
Yeah, Kristin, what Musk said about ISS was that his nickname for them was ISIS, which clearly is an inflammatory comment. I know that our audience just want to understand the basics here from impact investors like Nia on their rationale, right? If there are many that just say Elon Musk says things that upset people. He says things that are controversial. But at the same time, over a 10-year period, he has grown Tesla to be the clear market incumbent in EVs. He's changed the game for space technology and mankind's ability to get to low Earth orbit. Excuse my voice. So how important to you is it that you kind of get some result here without offsetting, what is quite clearly a capable leader?
Ed, thanks so much for that question. So capable leader, I would say that's up for grabs. He's certainly leading quite a few, and of course he's leading in the AI, and we actually were really interested in that battery play, and he's shown that that's a really important part of what they want to roll out both in 2024, 2025 and beyond. Where we have questions and concerns are some of his statements. And so comparing ISS, which is Institutional Shareholder Services, to ISIS, that's inflammatory, and it doesn't even make any sense. This is a group that puts out proxy recommendations based on what they believe is good for the long term of the company. They have nothing to do with ISIS. So that's problematic. He's also made some comments recently about DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion, that really do cause concerns, particularly because we need Tesla to be to have a really strong brand, both for the consumer side, because people need to feel really strong and great about purchasing and driving that car, using that battery, also the solar for roofing. What we're concerned about is his ability to attract and retain top talent if people don't see a place for them within this innovation.